Hi, we're excited to officially welcome you to the Texas Tech family. Starting college is a big transition, not just for students, but for the people who love and support them. There's excitement, there may be a few nerves, and probably a lot of questions about what this next chapter is going to look like. In this presentation, we'll walk you through some of the things you may want to think about as the semester gets underway. We'll share resources, introduce you to the Red Raider Family Network, talk about some important conversations you might want to have with your student, and highlight ways to stay connected throughout their Texas Tech experience. Our hope is that you finish this video feeling a little bit more prepared, a little more connected, and knowing that you don't have to figure it out all on your own. We're excited to be on this journey with you and your student. So welcome to the Red Raider family. Before we get too far, let's introduce you to the people behind the Parent and Family Relations Office. Our team includes Dr. Christine Self, our director, Morgan Chavez-Brannon, Program Director for Communications Outreach, Brianna Valdivia, our event coordinator, and I'm Connie Watson, Program Director for Family Engagement and Academics. Together, our team brings more than 50 years of higher education experience and a lot of different perspectives to the work. 3 of us teach at Texas Tech. 1 of us joined the Red Raider family from out of state, and I bring the perspective of being a parent of a Texas Tech graduate. Yay, 2013. We know every family's experience will look a little different, and that's okay. Our job is to help you connect with the information and resources, answer some questions, and help you navigate parenting and supporting your college student. So how do we stay connected with you once the semester gets going? We know there's a lot of information coming at families, and our goal is to make it easier to find what you need without adding to that noise. One of the best places to start is the Red Raider Family Network. This is our primary way of sharing timely information, important reminders, upcoming events, and resources created specifically for families and supporters. We also stay connected through our monthly family newsletter, webinars, social media, and the Parent and Family Relations website. You don't have to keep up with everything we send. Think of these as tools you can come back to when you have a question or want to know what's happening on campus. And before we move on, take a minute to scan the QR code and save our contact information to your phone. You may not need us today, but there may come a day when you think, who do I ask about this? So we want you to know where to start. There are a few other resources we want you to know about as well. The orientation guide and the Parent Family Relations website are great places to go when you have a question or just need a little more information. They're resources you can use throughout the year, not just during orientation or the first few weeks of the semester. We also offer webinars throughout the year on topics that are important to families. We've covered everything from academic success and student well-being to campus safety, living on campus, and some of the changes families experience during the college transition. You can register for upcoming webinars through the Red Raider Family Network. And if timing doesn't work for you, no worries. Our webinars are recorded and available on the Parent and Family Relations website, so you can watch them when it works for your schedule. Before we get into some of the practical pieces of college life, I want to pause for a minute and talk about something that sometimes gets overlooked, the emotional side of this transition. When you think about your students starting college, what are you feeling? Maybe you're excited, maybe you're incredibly proud, maybe you're ready to see what your student does with the next chapter. And maybe you're also a little sad or nervous or worried or wondering, are we really ready for this? You might even feel several of these things in the same day or sometimes all at the same time, and that's completely okay. You can be proud of your student and miss them terribly. You can be excited about what's ahead and still feel uncertain. And you can trust your student while also worrying about how they're going to handle everything. Of course, your student may be feeling some of those same things too, although they may not always show it the same way that you do. As you move through this transition together, give yourself and your student a little room, a little grace. As we move through this video, I encourage you to think about one important question. How can you make space for your students' emotions while also recognizing and managing your own? And that brings us to one of the biggest changes families experience, figuring out what this new chapter looks like for everyone. Your student is adjusting to a new environment, new expectations, new responsibilities, and you're figuring out what your role looks like now too. One thing that can help is simply talking with your student. Not every conversation has to be about grades or schedules or whether they've done what they were, quote, supposed to do. Sometimes the best conversations are simply about getting to know what their experience is like, such as, you might want to ask, what is surprising you the most, or what has been different from what you expected, or even what's something you wish I understood about college right now. Sometimes they may want advice, other times they just need you to listen, and that can be hard. We're used to helping our kids solve problems, and sometimes our first instinct is to jump in. But college gives students opportunities to figure things out, make decisions, and learn what works best for them. When they need a little extra help, Texas Tech has people who can help with that. Resources such as their student success specialist, Raider Ready programs, university coaching, and mentor tech are there to help students navigate challenges and build confidence. Another really rewarding part of this transition is watching your student begin to take more ownership of their life. For years, you've probably been involved in all of the details: appointments, schedules, deadlines, meals, laundry, homework reminders, you name it. Now, some of those things become your student's responsibility. That doesn't mean you suddenly stop being involved. It just means your involvement looks a little different. Think of yourself as a consultant, someone your student can come to for advice, encouragement, perspective, and sometimes a good reminder. And yeah, there will probably be moments when your student has a problem and your first thought is, oh, I can fix this. I get it. But giving them a little space to work through the problem is one of the best ways we can help them grow. That doesn't mean leaving them on their own. It means letting them know, hey, I'm here. Let's figure out what your next step might look like. This is also a good time to talk about communication. Before classes begin, talk about what staying connected will look like. How often do you want me to check in? What do you need from me in these first 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 6 weeks? How will you let me know when things are going well or when you need a little extra support? Those conversations can make transition easier for everyone. All right, we're going to talk about something that may be new for families as their student transitions to college, FERPA. In high school, you may have been able to see grades, assignments, attendance, and other information through a parent-family portal. Well, college works differently. FERPA, the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, is a federal law that protects the privacy of student education records. Once your student begins college, information such as grades, class schedules, and financial information is protected, and Texas Tech cannot share that information without your student's permission. That doesn't mean families are suddenly out of the picture. It means your student has more ownership over their information and their educational experience. If your student chooses to give you FERPA access, you may be able to see information such as their class schedule, final grades and GPA, financial aid and billing information, as well as any account holds through the Red Raider Family Network. Think of this as the big picture rather than the every day-to-day details. The most important piece is really the conversation between you and your student. You may want to ask, how would you like to keep me updated? Or if something doesn't go as planned, what would be most helpful for me? FERPA gives students more ownership while still allowing families to be part of that conversation. Now let's take a little bit closer look at the Red Raider Family Network, because this is the one resource you'll want to have in your back pocket. The network connects you with official Texas Tech information created specifically for families and supporters. Once you register, you can choose the topics and communities that are most useful to you. Things like your student's academic college, student success resources, campus life, safety, study abroad, and so much more. You'll receive updates, important dates, resources, information about upcoming webinars and special events, and our monthly family newsletter. You also set up your FERPA connection with your student here, if that's something the two of you decide is right for you and your family. So look for the graduation cap to start the FERPA connection process. Another important part of the college experience is finding a place to belong. Encourage your student to think about what they enjoy, what interests them, and what they might like to try. That could be a student org, an intramural sport, a professional organization connected to their major, volunteering in the community or on campus, other campus events, or something completely different. Of course, there's no need to do it all. College can offer more opportunities than any one person could possibly take advantage of. So finding a balance between classes, friendships, involvement, work, and downtime, that matters too. And don't forget about the family side of things. So maybe you'll attend a Red Raider game together, or come back for family weekend, enjoy homecoming, or find another campus tradition that becomes your family's thing. If your student isn't sure where to start, places like the Student Union Building, the Student Activities Board, Student Life, Greek Life, and the Student Recreation Center are great places to explore. The goal isn't a packed calendar. It's finding people and experiences that help your student feel connected and at home. Another conversation worth having is well-being and safety. College is a big life change, and taking care of yourself is part of being successful. You might talk with your student about what helps them manage stress, how they recharge, and what they tend to do when they're having a difficult day. It's also helpful to make sure they know where to go if they get sick, need someone to talk to, or need help with something they're dealing with. Texas Tech offers several resources, including the Student Wellness Center, which houses the Student Health Services, our full-service pharmacy, and the Student Counseling Center. Some colleges also have mental health professionals and peer support communities embedded in their college. The RISE office also provides your student with valuable information on staying safe, which leads to personal safety. Encourage your student to become familiar with resources like Tech Alert, Tech Ride, and to know that the Texas Tech Police Department is available 24/7. We don't talk about these things because we expect something to go wrong. No, we talk about them because knowing where to turn can make a difficult situation a little easier to navigate. College also brings a whole new set of everyday responsibilities, and finances are certainly part of that conversation. Every family handles the cost of college differently, so there's no single right answer. What helps is making sure you and your student have talked about expectations. Who is responsible for which expenses? How will billing, housing, dining, transportation, and other costs be handled? What does your student already know about budgeting, and where might they need a little help? These conversations give students opportunities to learn and prepare. You may want to ask, how is your budget working for you? Has anything surprised you about your expenses? Or what are you learning about managing your money? There are resources to help, including Red to Black, financial aid, and student business services. And while we're talking about preparing for the future, this is also a great time for students to start exploring careers and what comes next. Internships, career fairs, networking, campus involvement, and professional experiences can all help students discover what interests them. Their academic college advisors, Higher Red Raiders, and the University Career Center are important partners in that process. You don't have to have all the answers for your student. Helping them know what questions to ask and where to go next is some of the most valuable support you provide. And finally, let's talk about academics. This is often an area where families have a lot of questions and sometimes a few worries, so let me reassure you. Your student was admitted to Texas Tech because we believe they have what it takes to be successful here. At the same time, college academics may feel different from what they experienced in high school. Students are learning to manage their own schedules, understand course expectations, communicate with professors, keep up with deadlines, and recognize when they need help. So as you talk with your student about classes, start with curiosity. Instead of only asking, how are your grades? You might want to say, how are your classes feeling? What classes are you enjoying? Or what have you found, if anything, that's been challenging? Encourage your student to learn what resources are available before they need them. The tutoring center, academic support programs, supplemental instruction, professors' office hours, coaching, and student success specialists are there to help students throughout the semester, not just when something goes wrong. And those little practical details matter too. Textbooks, access codes, Microsoft 365, course policies, and even understanding expectations around AI can make all the difference in the world. If a difficult grade or challenging class comes along, it can be tempting to immediately jump into problem-solving mode. Sometimes the best first step is simply to listen. Ask what happened. Ask what they think they might do next. Then help them find the support they need. Because success in college isn't just about the grade at the end of a course. It's also about learning how to manage challenges, ask for help, adjust, and keep moving forward. Those are the skills your student will carry well beyond Texas Tech. Now that we've talked about some of the bigger pieces of the college transition, let's look at a few things happening as the semester gets started. Move-in began August 20th for students with a scheduled move-in time. We'd love for you to stop by and see us during Refuel and Refresh with Parent and Family Relations at the International Cultural Center on August 21st and 22nd from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's a chance to take a little break, meet other families, and connect with us. You can register for this event through the Red Raider Family Network. Students can also jump into Raider Welcome, which runs August 20th through August 30th. There will be plenty of opportunities to meet people, explore campus, and start finding their place here. The full schedule is available at raiderwelcome.ttu.edu. And phew, where did the summer go, right? Classes begin Monday, August 24th. Don't forget about our back-to-school photos at the sub gazebo that day. It's free, and we love seeing those first day of college pics. Mark your calendars for Family Weekend, September 25th to 27th. It's a great opportunity to return to campus, spend time with your student, and enjoy some of the traditions that make Texas Tech special. There's a lot happening, and we're excited to welcome you to campus. There's one more organization we want you to know about, and that's the Texas Tech Parents Association, or TTPA. TTPA is a nonprofit, parent-led organization that has been supporting Texas Tech families since 1956. They're separate from the university, but they partner with Texas Tech to help families connect, get involved, and support one another. Through regional chapters, family events, and volunteer opportunities, TTPA gives you another way to meet other Red Raider families who are experiencing many of the same things you are. If connecting with other parents and supporters sounds like something you'd enjoy, we encourage you to learn more about TTPA. Sometimes having another family to talk to who's been there can be pretty valuable. So as we wrap up, we want to leave you with one simple reminder. You're not doing this alone. We are all in this together. Your student is beginning something new, and so are you. They're learning how to navigate college, make decisions, and find their way, and you're learning what it looks like to support them as they grow into this next stage of life. Some days will feel great, and other days you may have so many questions or not be sure what comes next, and that's okay. You don't have to have all the answers, and neither does your student. Learning, adjusting, and figuring things out are all part of the college experience. So keep the conversation going. Be curious. Listen. Encourage your student to take next steps and let them know you're in their corner. And remember, we're in your corner too. Parent and Family Relations is here to be a resource for you throughout your student's time at Texas Tech. If you have a question, need information, or simply aren't sure where to start, reach out. We'll help you find your way. So before you go, scan the QR code to save our contact information and make sure you're connected through the Red Raider Family Network. We're genuinely excited to welcome you to Texas Tech. This is a new adventure for all of us, and we're honored to be part of your Red Raider journey. Thanks for listening.